Okay, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Mixon back once again, and today we're gonna be doing a live beat breakdown on this Larry June type beat that you guys voted for on my Instagram page the other day. Before we really get started here, make sure you guys are leaving a like, subscribing, hitting that noti bell, and leaving some comments down below so we can really get this thing kind of, you know, going and getting on track. Um, so the things I'm going to be like really covering today, it's really just how to like kind of like find your samples, how to really make a West Coast kind of like groove and vibe with like a boom bap kind of style, like that Larry June kind of style of beat. So first things first, yeah, we do the voting on my Instagram page every single Thursday from like really early in the morning till the next day on Friday. Then we decide which beat we're going to be doing. These are all beats that I post throughout the course of the week, and if you're interested in ever like voting, head to my IG, just drop a follow and you know lock in with us. So I'm gonna play the beat out one time for you guys, and then we'll kind of like go in and dissect everything that we got. So here we go. Okay, so the first thing here that really defines this beat, I would say, is obviously this crazy, crazy sample that I've got, right? The so this sample, I would say, like the main thing you want to like really lock in and focus on is finding kind of like an 80s sounding sample. Like you can go on YouTube, you can search up like 80s instrumentals, um, different stuff like that. I think that's really the main thing you want to start off with. Whether you have like a tracklib library or if you have like a arcade preset, like search things that are like 80s sounding. That's really how you want to start off your going through your beat. Um, so if I'm on tracklib, right, I'm gonna pull it up here. If I'm browsing, so let's see. So if I'm like searching here on TrackWeb, like 80s, like different stuff, let's see. Probably like find different like labels and different stuff like that. So, like, sound kits. Or if I'm going to like all songs, I could just do like this. Let's see. Like that sounds pretty 80s. Like different sounds like that. If you like just search 80s like on whatever thing you use, I use TrackLab for a lot of my samples. Um, but yeah, like you can go in there and then use that. Just like download it, get the different tracks and different stuff like that. But like TrackLab is a good spot, Arcade's a good spot. Um, what else? I would say Uh, I mean, you can even go to Looperman. I mean, like, if you want like different royalty-free samples and stuff like that. Some people want attribution. Some people want licensing. Like, there's licensing involved when you go to TrackLib. But the key piece that you want to take away from this, it's not necessarily like, oh, this is like where you find them. This is how you do it. It's more like, hey, find an 80s sample. Find it. That's basically what you need. Something that has that electric slap bass, that guitar, that like all this old school kind of sound, right? You know, you just want to make sure that it sounds like super cool, and like kind of like oh, like maybe like we're on, like kind of sounds like a, you know, like we're undercover or something, right? Like we're about to we're about to break the big case. It's definitely like something like that. You kind of want something sounding like that. to get that Larry June kind of sound. That's like the most important piece. Starting off with something like that. Now you go into the drums, right? And then I'll just mute these. And see what I did here is I really made the drums kind of sound like an 80s style thing, like with the clap going, doing the two little rhythms right here. So making the claps do that sound, I kind of think that really like adds to what we're doing with this. And so like how you like achieve this pattern, right? With this, if you were just to click it in, right? So you got your kicks. So So what I'm doing here is creating that bounce. See how it's like kind of like got that little vibe right there, and we added just like every 2 steps. Then signature cowbell. And then a little crash. I think I just added those like rides in there to like give that open hat feel. Just every like okay, go back up to here. So just like basically every like gray space, every third gray space that we have there, that's how I like kind of filled this beat out. And I think that just really gives it that balance. So it's like the reason you kind of like do this, like the main thing is like with your sound selection here, you definitely want to add like a lot of cowbell in this, or at least one, right? So like you want to either add that one, this one, like maybe like some kind of like some kind of sound like that, because like in all Larry June's beats, it's got that kind of vibe in it. And really, what you're just trying to do is you're trying to accomplish like making it sound like that, fit into that piece. Now, I think the hardest part of like this beat, which was kind of like it was like a challenge for me at the very least. I'm gonna just cut all of these out first. Yeah. So it's like with this sample, right? So it's got like it's already got a bass line in there, right? But it's not like punching to the part where I want it, right? It's not really like all that punchy, that bass. So it's like it's cutting through and it sounds nice, but we don't really have like a layer underneath, right? So I'm gonna use one of my favorite techniques. Gonna go to St. Pleb. And what we're gonna do, so I've done this technique multiple times for you guys now. So sorry if it's a little boring, but like what we're going to do is we're going to consolidate this track. So what consolidating does, so I'm going to do just a selection of it so we don't have to like have a very long thing here. So we're going to go into here, consolidate tracks, time selection, and boom. Now what this does is like, okay, it's already got the effects on it, so it's not on any track right now. And it puts the effects that we had. We had the EQ on it and all of that. And basically what this allows us to do is when we pull up our sample lab, right? So we got it in there now, so it's already preloaded. Gonna convert that to MIDI. And one thing that I was noticing is that the bass is just on that D the whole time. So when we come back in here, everything's on D. So we've got this, and then like this bass, it's like it's just backing up. It's backing up our sound, really. It's like, so it's just adding emphasis to the piece. So like I consolidated, it's like, okay, I know that like I've got like a backing track now. So here. So you can hear that this is like, you know, it's in tune with it, and then it's just really like, you know, making that thing really go. It's like adding that lower level. So it's like you really just can fit your bass and your drums over the top of it, because it's like it's just adding that like extra layer of like goodness in there. Because there wasn't a whole lot of rumble in the bass. So like even if I like was to roll this thing off, right? Even if I was to mute this for a second, that bass isn't really hitting the way you need it to, you know? It doesn't like hit the way that I wanted it to hit. So like now with it on, has that bass slapping through, and then we got our bass hitting and all the right levels. So it's like a really kind of like groovy type of vibe, you know? So next, I'll kind of just go into like the structure of this. Just an 8-bar hook, because we're in like halftime for the beat. When you're like in like the 86, 90 BPM, everything's kind of like half. So like you saw, like I was hitting the red. So it's like it's a whole 4 steps before. So like our thing really double. Like if we were to put this in like, you know, 172 time, we'd have it like be 16 bars. So like I mean the time doubles basically is my point. So 8, so it's basically 16 bars right there. So 8, then we do a 16 here, and then 8, and an 8-bar outro and an 8-bar intro. That's kind of the structure. You just take sounds out as you go along, right? Really just kind of keep the groove going. Let the artist catch their feel. Bring the bass back. And then you take it out again. Let it have a breakdown. Bring the hi-hats back. Bring the bass back for just a little bit. No kick. Just letting it ride. And then the last little piece so they can get in. Yep. And there's our song structure. And now with the mixing, not much. Like you already saw how I rolled this one off. Boosted the lower mids, boosted the higher presence so the certain sounds would stand out. Crunched this kick with a soft clipper. Rolled off some of the ends there, boosting this sound to make it knock harder, and then slamming this so it doesn't clip but like hits at a hard level. Then we go into the claps, boosting our lower mids to carry out that snare sound, a little higher presence to carry out that clap sound. Want to keep a lot of our lower mids here because it's more of that kind of like punchier like old school hi-hat sound. Raising our presence on that. Cowbell. It's already had some reverb in it, so I wanted to like make it fit still without sounding too enclosed, but like left it a little space to force the frequency through and raise some of the like treble on that so it'd be like extra tingy. Our bass. We do like kind of distorted this with the saturation a little bit. Put a little bit more on than I normally would, just so I could get that rumble that we wanted, and also like raising the sub level of it to like really be bassy in our ears. And then raising some of the like mid levels on that as well, and then using my favorite compressor, the CLA2A, keeping it under 3 so it doesn't like over compress it. Then we got our ride at the very beginning. That's our just basically our crash. And then our open hat. Yeah, so this is kind of a quick video. I'd say the core concepts that we covered, really it's like how do you like create the groove, the Larry June kind of groove. It's really like with some of that like clanky cowbell, an 80s sample, and just making sure you got that nice groove with it, like with your drums, just like making sure it hits the groove and is like pretty chill. That's like what I did with this beat. Not really much to kind of go on here after that. So I just want to thank you for everybody that's tuning in. Thank you for watching. I'll be uploading the short clip next week. And kind of a big announcement here with the holidays coming up. I'm gonna be like out and about. So type beat of the week will still continue, but there's just gonna be no voting. I'm gonna pre-record some of them, so we have your content's still coming. No worries, no worries. But um, thank you guys for tuning in, and God bless, peace. I'll catch you guys later. All right, see ya.